Hello everybody, good evening, hope you're all doing okay. Let's get right on it, shall we? So, welcome to Suzuka. So RPM's been going pretty well, but I think at this point in the season this is where I might start to struggle a little bit. Because I think it is the next couple of races that we've got are both tracks I'm not very good at. So yeah, Suzuka's a track that I'm not very good at. I just want to double check because I could be wrong. Oh no, next week is Sebring. I'm thinking of Okayama, that's why. Suzuka's not the greatest of tracks for me. Sebring I'm mediocre, but I've had fantastic results by luck before. So I'm hoping that maybe we'll get a little bit of that, similar to what we did at Hockenheim a couple of weeks ago. And then we've got Road Atlanta, which is one of my favourite tracks in the world. So hopefully that should go okay for me as well. And then obviously we've got Okayama, so we come back to Japan a bit later on in the season. We do. That is another not such a great track for me personally. And then we round off the season at Bathurst. We do Mount Panorama, which is the week after the 12 hours of Bathurst. So that should be pretty interesting. Because obviously the last round of the season, that is a track that a lot of drivers have a lot of difficulties with. So I am going to go out there for another couple more laps. I have been meddling with the strength setting in the force feedback. Because I do feel on this track, it is too heavy for me. It was heavy enough at Charlotte, I could tolerate with it. But this track, I do need to be turning the wheel a fair amount. And obviously, with the steering being heavy enough as it is, it's not pleasant. But I've just dialed down the strength a little bit. I have, so just a little bit enough so that way I can still feel the steering. But at the same time, it's not feeling too much, so I'm just trying to get used to that. So I've done some run on race fuel. My pace isn't that great, I'm going to be completely honest. As you can see, we're all the way back in P39, but I do think part of that is a lot of drivers are actually focusing on their qualifying, because there isn't a great amount of places to overtake on this track, if I'm completely honest. So that's what I'm starting to do now. Now I haven't done much practice around this track either, so that's not going to help. But I think considering the fact of how comfortable I am in the standings at the moment, Suzuka I don't tend to like as a track, which is obviously going to be making a lot of people go, huh? Because Suzuka's a very well-renowned track. I don't personally enjoy the track very much. Like, it's great for open wheelers. You know, I like it as an open wheeler track, but as a GT track, no, I don't like it. Personally. So I'm just trying to get used to having a little bit of fuel ready for qualifying, which starts in just less than 5 minutes, so I have enough time to do what, 2 laps. Rudy is having some issues, I think, with his internet. I'm not sure why. He was having issues with it last week. He ended up losing connection as the race started. Like that. Also noted another thing is that having a lower tank, having a lower fuel load really helps a lot. can't go that wide during qualifying, obviously. But Ben's making good use of the Ferrari. So the Ferrari's not necessarily slow, but I know it's not great around this track. And being this far back in the field, now bear in mind Hockenheim, we had a really bad racing qualifying session, but the race was so much better. We managed to gain a lot of positions during the first lap because of the major crash. Possibility of that happening though here is probably lowered. Because when a big crash on the start of a race does happen, it does cause a lot of drivers to actually settle down quite a bit. Should be in second for that, really. It doesn't feel like as if it has that front end grip. That's how it feels. It's like as if I just completely run out of front end grip. Alright, that's a lot better.
That was your fastest lap of the session. You have about 2 laps of fuel left.
It does constantly feel like as if the cars wanted to oversteer on the front, so I'm wondering if I'm using too much of the tyre going into turn 1. And it's causing that tyre to overheat. Maybe a little bit. That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, we're about to go into the qualifying session now, so... But yeah. Just have to wait and see what happens. So, it does seem like we're going to be starting qualifying in the dark. Which has been a bit of a meme in the championship for a few seasons. I think, in a way. I'm going to wait for the initial drivers to go out. I'm not going to wait for everybody. But I'm just going to wait for the initial drivers to go out. So I'm going to have a little bit of a slower out. If I can help it. Rudy's still having issues, it seems like. So yeah, Suzuka in the dark I've never done actually, to be honest. Should be pretty interesting though. Track temperature's still a decent amount. Does mean as well that the tyres will warm up a bit slower. But we'll use the first lap as like an extra warm-up lap. Gonna let Chris behind me past. Got Andy Corso catching up as well. I know Andy's pretty quick, so we'll let him by as well. We've got Anthony behind us. Yeah, so we're going to use this lap as an actual warm-up lap. Does seem a lot easier to turn in, I will say that. So don't expect this first lap to be particularly fast, because I haven't really been pushing enough. Tell you what is going to be difficult though, is getting 130R right. Because it's kind of blind because of it being dark. Oh, that little snap oversteer on the exit. thought I could get the car stopped enough, but I didn't. Oh, for Pete's sake, I went a little bit wide. Got enough fuel for a couple more, for one more lap at least.
You have about 2 laps of fuel left.
Don't want to do that. Overshot it a little bit and tried compensating and didn't work. Two-minute 1.6, not great. Got plenty of fuel to be able to get to the pits again.
You have about 1 lap of fuel left.
Well, we've only got about 5 minutes left. But we have enough time. Well, actually, even with that once, the thing is, doing one single lap isn't going to be enough. Because I'm still going to be warming up my tyres. So... The Audi, I will say, does seem to be very strong around Suzuka. So, but Darren's P6 overall does show how strong it actually is. Yeah, P29 isn't the greatest, but it will do.
The officials are telling us they won't accept the way you're driving. Your laps won't count until you reset the car and start over.
Alright. I'm not going to have necessarily enough time to be able to go back out there and do another lap, because that single lap that I have left is an additional warm-up lap. So, unfortunately, where we're sitting at the moment, P33, it's probably going to be as good as I'm going to get at the moment. Really, to be honest, so...
Okay, punch it.
Right, I'm going to put on the race setup then. That up a couple of clicks. Microphone's a little bit in the webcam, isn't it? Yeah, I think that should be okay. I know it's a tiny little bit still here, but better than the way it was. Didn't actually notice that originally. Yeah, just have to hope that there's some incidents and we can get through a lot of drivers. I know that my qualifying pace is really bad, but the thing is, for me at the moment, is my race pace, and even that's not the greatest, I'm gonna be honest. But hopefully we can just make some gains off of other drivers' mistakes. Really, to be honest, this track is a lot more difficult to pass on compared to other tracks that we've raced at previously. Like Hockenheim is a track that you can get a decent amount of passes on. But around this track is a lot more, I do feel it's more difficult. But the main thing is just try and race our way through it. We don't have to drive. We don't have to be perfect in any way. Darren's got out of it because he's had somebody get in the way. He's not going to get another qualifying lap though, so might as well have just kept on going, I guess. But maybe feel like he's too far off now at this point. The thing is here, William doesn't have to get out the way. He is also doing a qualifying lap, so he doesn't necessarily have to get out of the way, as annoying as it is for Darren and Paul. So Rudy has finally been able to get onto track now. He's only P45 though. Yeah, so who am I racing along with at the moment? Got Olivier Grenier alongside me at the moment, because ironically teammates with Thierry Raffier, but obviously we're not battling each other for the championship. We've just been racing against each other like side by side for the last couple of races we have, so Yeah, I don't expect to get an amazing result tonight, if I'm honest. Because of, like, I'll be honest, I haven't really focused on Suzuka at all. I didn't do a single race at Suzuka last week. My priority has actually been getting used to the Porsche around the Nordschleife, actually, last week. Which I did do a fair amount of races. I think I did 4 races in total. The first one I crashed out of on the last lap. And it was my fault, honestly. Like, I was fighting somebody a little bit too hard who tried to overtake me under yellow flags. And really, I shouldn't have fought him as hard as what he did. He was faster than me. Like, I just let the annoyance get the better of me. So, but the other 3 races, I feel like I've been doing pretty well in. To be honest, so I've actually had decent results in the other 3 that I've done. Hey there, Leah. Good luck to you too. But yeah, like driving the Porsche is definitely does feel a lot better. It does. Like going back to the Ferrari now, I realise how slow the Ferrari actually is. Like some drivers are making it work. Like Ben's making it work. He's P5 overall. He is. So Frank Cordiez got on pole for silver class 2 races in a row now. So yeah, so it should be pretty interesting in this race anyway, regardless. Like there is a lot of competition around. Where's Just Stowe? So Daniel Just Stowe is P28 on the grid. Benjamin Sanderson, our main title rival now, is P17. So he's probably seeing the grid order and seeing me as far down. Seeing me as far down as I am, and he's probably thinking I've got a long fight back. But the thing is, the pressure is on him for the most part, because now he needs to try and fight hard to try and get the points back. He lost a further 5 points for the penalty that he picked up on last week as well. So for those of you who don't remember, we both spun at the chicane after he gave me no space in the chicane on lap 6. He was deemed wholeheartedly at fault. He was, so he got given a 5 points penalty, which doesn't sound like much, but how the silver class and the bronze class championships work is that they actually go on not just on the overall standings, but we have our own separate championship. We do. So I'm leading now the class championship by about 30 points now, which is a whole win if the other driver was to not even finish. So it's quite a big gap now at this point. So all I need to start doing now at this point is just finish races and just have respectable finishes. That's all we need at the end of the day. So there are a fair amount of drivers though that have not qualified. One of them, Paul Kerry, it looks like that he's had a disconnect while out on the track. So I don't know exactly what happened to him. Yeah, he didn't even set a qualifying lap time. So I'm wondering if maybe he had an incident on his out lap, which is definitely possible. So, yeah, before I forget, for those of you that do not know, we have now become affiliate of Trak Racer. So, Trak Racer's rig that I'm using at the moment is the TR8 Pro, which I have been using since the summer of last year. Always feel very comfortable in it. It's definitely, I've always recommended it ever since I first bought it. And the staff have always been great people whenever I have spoken to them. So now I am actually an affiliate. If you do want to have a look at the product, all you have to put into the chat is !TR, and that will give you an affiliate link. Ooh, hello. That will give you an affiliate link of which you can buy all of their products. So sim rigs, bundles, racing gloves, you name it. Pretty much anything to do with sim racing, you can get from there. And that can get shipped right to your doorstep, whether it's in the UK, around Europe, the US, Australia, New Zealand. So if you do want to come and have a look at that, you can do. Any products that you do buy from using that link, thank you very much, Paul. I will also get 5% of anything that has been purchased, which will obviously help me quite a lot. And I can promise you now, that will be the best equipment that you will possibly get. And of course, if you do have any questions, by all means, ask me about it on stream when I'm, you know, obviously when I'm in a bit of a cool down period during races, or ask me on Discord if you wish. You can even DM me or just ping me in my Discord server if you do wish to do so. And if you do flight sims, if you're not a sim racer but you do flight sims, they even do a flight sim as well. So please, by all means, if you do want to come and check that out, please click that link that is in chat there right now for you. How you doing, by the way, Paul? Hope you're doing okay. So we're literally just about to go green now, so let's get ourselves ready. So just to put it out there again, I am starting quite a bit further back. Obviously, with it being a night practice followed by a early morning start race, obviously is not always the best because it's very different track conditions. It is, because having no lights around you can be a big dictator. It can, in a way, but
one lap to green. Line up on the left side. Closed. Pit road is closed.
But the main thing is that we just need to try and get respectable finishes. We don't have to get these really good results. Like the first half of the season has been great result after great result. Even the race at Hockenheim, we started quite far back on the grid. Even further back than this, we did. And we managed to get a very good race result at the end of it. And that was partially due to the lap 1 crash that we had. Now, I don't believe that is going to happen this time around. I think a lot more drivers are now going to be a little bit more orderly. Because normally, if it happens once, it's not going to happen again. It very rarely happens twice in a season. So, and it's normally just one driver maybe pushes a little bit too hard on the race start. So, but we still need to finish decently. Otherwise, we will get caught up in the standings during the second half. So, the Suzuka is going to mark the halfway point of the season. So, all we have to do is just be smart. That's all we have to really do.
Car catched up 700, 77, car catched up 38, car catched up 11, car catched up 31, car. About to go green, stay focused.
Well, start right in the middle of the chicane, mightn't we?
Green flag, green flag.
Okay, we're not starting in the chicane, which is good.
Right side. Clear. Left side. Clear on the left.
I figured I could go around the outside of him, but it didn't work. Oh!
Car on your left.
Oh, I think the car might be done. What happened there? Yeah, the car's done. We've got a bent steering arm. Oh, there's a big crash at the hairpin.
left side.
And that's
You're in the
Sanderson.
middle, 3 wide. Car on your left, 2 wide. You're in the
Ooh.
middle, 3
Okay,
wide.
he came across, mate. He came across,
Clear
mate.
on the
Oh,
right,
hello.
right side. Clear.
There was nowhere for me to go. I had Benjamin on my right-hand side.
Right side. Clear on the right. Right side. Clear.
But I'm going to come in the pits. I'm going to repair the car. Then we're going to just get back out there. Yeah, good idea. Box straight away. Bit annoying, but it happens. We've had an insane amount of luck all season long. We have, so it's bound to happen. I'm not sure exactly what happened, so we'll have a look and see. Have a look at both incidents actually and see what was going on. But that is part of the punishment with obviously having to be right in the middle of the pack. Okay, he's parked up. Yeah, Benjamin's obviously already pulled in, so optionals are 5 minutes. So we'll turn off the engine. We'll have a look at what was going on. So this is my first major incident that I've actually had all season. This is so, and we'll just have to look and see what was going on because I could see nothing in front of me. Really, to be honest, so. And that is part of the issue. Wait. Did I see that Ben Warren? Oh, Ben Warren's had a massive mare of a start. So he's even further back than what I was. So, let's see. Where am I? So, yeah. So, I have legit no front end. And I think my front left side is damaged as well. So, let's have a look. So, it was already badly damaged. So, what happened? Let's have a look. I'm going to need a better... do I need a bit more of an aerial view? Yeah, I think I need a bit more of an aerial view. So what was going on? Oh, I think Ola bumped into this guy down here and just broke really hard on the racing line. You can't do that. So yeah, so let's have a look. Let's get back down then, and now we know what was going on. Now let's have a look at Ola. So he's gone into Maurice Ritfield. He has. So what? So how has that happened? Let's go to rear. No, not rear chase. We want to go to far chase. So what's happened here? So Ritfield has broke slightly in the middle of a straight. It's a very short straight. But he's broke a little bit because he's trying to give himself space between him and the cars ahead. Yeah. Ola Aceikith then hits Maurice in the rear. And he brakes very abruptly. He does. And which then Marcus Borhella brakes. And because I am very close to Marcus, I have no time to react. So... let's go back to cockpit for the moment. So this is Marcus's point of view. So yeah, so Marcus even doesn't know what's going on ahead of him. And like, I'm even closer. So I have no chance because I'm completely blind to what's going on. So yeah, so that's a bit unfortunate. Now, the second incident I want to look at very quickly before we get back out onto track is the incident on the exit of the hairpin. So, Benjamin has rejoined the track with a very heavily damaged car, so I'm not sure exactly what has happened there. Is that to the United Sim cars? So, yeah, so Benjamin's come right into my path. I'm giving to space to my left because I've already got a damaged car. And I'm trying to give back space to Benjamin on my right side. And who is this here? Ryan is coming across me, and I'm... well, here's the weird thing. I'm staying parallel to my line and giving Benjamin space, but Ryan is also staying parallel to his line. That will be very difficult. That will. I'm trying to give space to Benjamin here. What's happened there? Is that Daniel Slater? Oh no, this is Jeff Saunders. I thought this was Daniel Slater. He's a little bit further up actually, isn't he? And yeah, like, and the bounce back from Jeff gives me no opportunity, so I unintentionally just go through him. Because I have no chance to react to Jeff. So, yeah, very unfortunate. That was how that's all gone through. So we've got about less than a minute until all the repairs are done. We are going to go back out on track to try and gain as many positions as possible. There does seem to be a fair amount of drivers who have retired already. So, and we do want to try and at least gain what points we can. So this might be a bit of a dull stream, which I do apologise, but that's all part of racing really, to be honest. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. We could gain a lot of the positions. You never know, so we might get some racing with other drivers a little bit later on. Just going to get the ignition on.
All clear, punch it.
Right, the leaders are all coming on the start finish straight now. I'm just going to go along here very slowly, because I don't want to be getting in anybody else's way. Right, so we're again on cold tyres again, because we've got on another set of tyres, although that probably doesn't matter. Gonna get out of the way of Steve. Right, to put the radio on. So Rudy's P31, so that's good for him. As I get up to speed though, I should be able to start getting through some of these drivers, although I'm a lap down. Oh, Matt Manistier's retired, okay.
fast, flat for you.
But Steve is having another decent race. It's not as far up as what he was last race. That was insane. But I'd say normally he's a bit further back than this. Does seem like that Steve has improved a decent amount this season. I will say that. Which is good to see, because I know he has before always struggled. But this season does seem like that Steve has actually made a jump in performance. Maybe a contender for most improved driver of the season, possibly. Does seem like there's a couple more drivers that have crashed out. The Ben Warren's now starting to come through the field. Yeah, he's going to have a long day of it. He is. Ben should not be that far back. I wonder what happened to him at the start.
New fast, flat for you.
It's catching up to the two ahead, which is partially why I'm not overtaking him, because it will lose him a lot of time, and I have nothing to gain right now. just being a little bit respectful to Steve, because I know obviously he's racing some of the guys ahead. I'm not. Like, if Steve makes a mistake and I have a clear-cut opportunity, that is when I will do, but, you know, for me right now, I don't really have to do anything. And Olivia Grenier's now retired. God, a lot of drivers are retiring. Man, if we didn't have that incident on the first lap, we could have been right in the thick of it for a good result. So a class there.
Well,
Has he been there the entire time? He's trying to talk on his voice chat and nothing seems to be happening.
Class, we can't hear you.
I just had a major artificial failure. My whole steering broke.
Oh, that's why you can't tow. His whole wheel was had an issue. Yeah, you can see Steve's pace has actually improved. So anybody that's just coming in wondering what's going on, we started quite far back on the grid after a poor qualifying session, so we started P34. Unfortunately, we got caught in an incident on the first lap. Two separate incidents actually. In the middle of the deg and the curves, somebody a little bit further up brake checked after hitting somebody in the rear, causing a domino effect to happen, which included me being in it. And then somebody else tried closing down the door on me coming out of the hairpin, while I was trying to give room to somebody else as well. So we ended up getting 5 minutes of optionals. We are now pretty much just staying on track, just trying to gain what positions we can. We are a few laps down, but unfortunately this will be our first bad result of the whole season. But these sort of situations do happen at the end of the day. So, you know, to think that this is the halfway point of the season, this is our first bad race, actually does say quite a lot, to be honest. car just doesn't want to turn. I feel like some of these tight turns. It's like as if the front end is lazy. Let's only see how it feels right now. Okay, so we're up to P41. We've gained another couple of spots in the last 5 laps or so. Completely lost where I was for a minute there, which is weird for me. I think Carlos behind is pushing too hard to try and keep Ben behind. He's lost the position now anyway. So something I've been getting into quite a lot. I've been speaking to my mum and dad a little bit more about it, especially today, particularly today. For those of you that have known me for a little while will know that I'm not really into British sports very much. Like the most British sport that I'll probably like out of any of them is like you've got pool / snooker, which is a very British sport. Obviously my dad has got a load of trophies over the years. It was his main hobby as he was growing up, basically. I used to play a decent amount of table tennis before I got into like proper full-time work originally. And since obviously not really doing table tennis all that much, I've not really been into like a sport properly, apart from, you know, motorsport obviously with sim racing. Good racing from Steve. He's improved a lot. He has a Steve this season. But I'm telling you now, that is not easy to go side by side. He's been respectable that Ola's trying to hold it around the outside. Very good driving from Steve there. And he's still going to give it a good go down here. But honestly, me just watching this, I'm enjoying watching this fight behind these two. Go on, Steve. Go on. Oh. These two are giving it a good go, but the guys behind are starting to catch up. That's partially due to Ben obviously being there. He's now forcing Tom to start pushing to keep the position. But that won't last forever. Ben is very good in that Ferrari. So yeah, so like, obviously it's been many years now since I played table tennis in any sort of competitive environment. I don't have the fitness levels for it anymore, obviously. So obviously sim racing now does that for me. You know, just sitting in a comfortable seat, as heavy as I am, you know, does have that benefit. But obviously sim racing can only do so much, really, to be honest, because it is sitting down after all, and it's not like your body's heavily moving about, so you're not getting that form of exercise really necessarily, because at the end of the day you are still sitting on a computer. You are at the end of the day, which isn't the healthiest. You know, I'll be the first to admit that and put my hands up. It's not the healthiest. And over the past couple of months, since I've been out of work, I have been thinking more about what do I need to do to try and get myself fitter. What could I possibly do, not just for, like, you know, exercise, but to also have as, like, you know, as a new hobby, and just overall just gain confidence back and be within a social group again for the first time in a while. And it has been very difficult. It has trying to find that. So the last few days it has been a matter of me talking to other people off stream, and this is part of the reason why I have been taking time away from like doing video recording, is because I need to try and do stuff for myself to better myself in the long run. You know, I can't be sitting here all the time, because this isn't going to make me necessarily you know, better overall. It's not gonna do anything for my confidence when I'm going outside, which has taken an impact massively, especially during since the pandemic. And I think a lot of people have as well. Like one of my favourite streamers who I met through streaming, through content creating when I was playing Dead by Daylight as my main game at the beginning of the pandemic, because that is when I first met him. We met each other through playing Dead by Daylight for the first time, me as the killer player and him as one of the survivors. Ironically, actually, it wasn't even him I later found out that was actually playing. It was actually his son that was playing on his account with his mother. And obviously, you know, I talked through the mother and then obviously through the father as well, who I've grown to be very good friends with over the past few years. And he's recently stopped streaming for the exact reason of, you know, he has found it very difficult for the past year with his confidence, obviously, overall, and with so much pressure, you know, having to do full-time work with content creating as well, it doesn't work anymore. I think Steve might have it here. Oh, he almost lost the front end. I'm not going to bully Steve out of the way because he's fighting for position. I'm not. Ben's overtake. Oh, didn't overtake Carlos. The guy that Ben was just battling with early is not even a my relative. So I'm wondering if he made a mistake. So yeah, so I'm going a little bit off track now. So basically, now what I'm needing to try and do is just find something that I am able to get in a new hobby with, have a new social communication with other people that do like it as well, you know. And it's something that I do enjoy as a sport overall, but I know I just will not have the physical ability for, and also the physical fitness for a very long time if I even try it. Although I can enjoy watching it, but there is something within that sport that you do a lot, and you can gain a lot of fitness from it. But I do need to put in some work on my fitness first before I even start doing it. So, me and Paul, because Paul actually got me thinking about it originally. Paul, for a large portion of his life, has always, you know, he's played ice hockey before himself, and he used to live around an area that was very influenced by ice hockey. And obviously I won't say where he was originally from because that is personal information, but like he's enjoyed ice hockey, you know, throughout his adulthood. I'm pretty sure he doesn't mind me saying that. And like I've never known anybody really, you know, around in the local area where I live to really even watch ice hockey, because over here in the UK, ice hockey is not a sport that people do ordinarily watch. So it's not very popular over here, apart from maybe a few major cities, and that's about it. But Nottingham, say for example, it's quite popular. But over here in Kent, no, it's not. But like I have enjoyed ice hockey for you know, a fair amount of years, but I've never properly watched it. You know, like, and it was more so I enjoyed it because, you know, it was during the time where I was like, football's getting very toxic, and the following of it was to me, it was like, you can't really enjoy watching it as a sport quite so much anymore, you know. And that's not, you know, ooh, hello. That's not bad-mouthing football, you know. Like, football can still be a great sport in general. Gonna come offline and let Ben past here, avoiding me getting in the way. But it's also me and Ben being teammates. I don't want to get in the way. just do not have any grip on the front. But yeah, overall I've always enjoyed ice hockey. Like, because it does a lot of things that in football, if you was to do it, you get very heavily penalised. But in ice hockey, yes, there are some penalties, you know, in a way, but it doesn't punish you in that same way. You know, and I feel like in a way, it's actually healthy for the game for those reasons. You know, like, yes, they'll put you in a penalty box for 5 minutes for fighting, say, for example. You know, but the referees, to a degree, as long as you do certain things like let the gloves go, like take off your gloves and release your stick so you're no longer holding it, because it can be technically classed as a weapon if you was to try and fight while holding it. As long as you do them things, referees do allow you to fight as long as you're not, you know, holding each other down and such. And I do feel like that the sport is good for them sort of reasons. Like, it realises that that the sport is healthy for allowing players to fight as long as they're doing certain things, which I do like that. But if you was to do it in football, you'd get red carded, sent off, and be banned for 3 matches. You do. Obviously, you know, football and ice hockey are 2 very different sports. But I feel like football in a way is a bit outdated nowadays. You know, like, obviously that might be just me, just, you know, I am overall just wanting to watch something that is more entertaining in my view. But also it's like, ice hockey is very fast paced. Football, I find nowadays, it's way too slow. It is. You know, the football as a sport nowadays, it's far too slow. Oh god, I'm going a bit too wide. I'm going to let Carlos pass. I don't have to let him pass, but I feel like that by him being ahead of me, I'll just be a little bit more relaxed in the end. So we're up to P39 now. But yeah, ice hockey has been something that I've definitely enjoyed watching quite a lot, especially in the last month, because I've been watching it quite a lot with Paul, you know, during the evening. It does mean that I have to stay up until quite late, because these matches are in America, so I do have that going against me. But honestly, like, the social aspect of the entire sport, because I went to have to go and watch a local ice hockey game I did last weekend, and that was the reason why I didn't actually stream during the weekend, because I was like, you know what, I'd rather do this. You know, streaming, you know, I do love, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't really up to iRacing during the weekend, I will be honest. So I was like, you know what, let's plan to actually go out on the Saturday. I can just chill on the Sunday and do whatever I want then as well. And on Sunday I ended up playing some League of Legends as well with some friends of mine, which I'm going to be honest, like, even League of Legends, I haven't been enjoying it quite so much recently. But to be honest, I'm not sure whether it's just the aspect of things are just out of control because they're having to balance to a brand new League of Legends completely, because they've changed a lot of items for this year. But yeah, it's difficult for that reason. So yeah, so part of me has been thinking about actually learning how to ice skate. Part of the reason for doing that is to have better fitness. I'm going to be exercising more with that. I am. It's something that I can do a little bit more routinely as well, and also have that social gathering as well. So there are a few reasons why I've been thinking about doing it. But before I actually do it properly, I do need to try and lose some of the weight first. Because I am quite a large person to be on the ice rink, you know, and when you start you are going to fall over quite a lot. And it is going to be quite funny. You know, I will be the first person to admit that. It's going to look funny when I fall over, because I am learning how to ice skate in general, because I don't have very good balancing. You know, and normally when you are, you know, a large load like I am, you know, you have your stomach sticking out a lot more than the average person because you're very overweight. You are going to have a lot of weight, you know, in a very awkward position, let's say. So I am looking to try and do it. I am gonna ask somebody about it. I am later on this week. Because if I can at least get the information, I then know how much it's going to cost. You know, because like for a fully grown adult, it's not your typical thing to go, I'm going to learn how to ice skate at the age of 31. You know, not many people will do such a thing.
New fast flat for you.
Yeah, obviously with the social gathering uniqueness of it as well, like when I went on Saturday, like how loud it was in an ice rink, you know. There wasn't a whole load of us, that was the thing. You know, there isn't that many of us. Yet, like, it was just so loud. Like, at times we were even louder than the announcer. We were at times. So, I will be honest, part of it as well is the fact that the microphone for the announcer didn't sound that great. I am going to be honest with that. But, you know, like, obviously it wasn't that big. How Paul put it, it was like a barn. So, and like, I just laughed at it originally. Because, like, you know, when I think of a barn, I'm thinking like, oh, a farm barn. You know, ones that you put chickens in that would lay eggs. You know, originally. But I know where he's coming from.
We got the jump car. Baby Daniel.
How far are we into this race now? Well, we are quite far. I didn't realise how far into this race we're in. Well, we're like 52 minutes in. This race has gone fast, I will admit. Considering that I'm not really racing anybody. You know, this is why some drivers are starting to pit. Because it's that time in the race and I've just not seen it. I've not realised it. God, it just... The under braking, it just feels like it has, like, minus grip. It just feels horrible. Part of that is probably due to the fact that I'm just turning the wheel too much, but I'm having no choice because the car won't turn in enough. I feel like if I go in slower, then I'm going to be going too slow. Seems like Anthony Beck's retired for some reason. Yeah, he's just retired. Yeah, you can see with this car, it just doesn't want to turn. Feels horrible, and suddenly near enough loses the rear end. There we go, that's better. Well, I thought Carlos was going to lose it then. You almost lost the rear end coming out of there. Right, this is the first time I've not had anybody in front of me for about 45 minutes, maybe longer than that.
That was your fastest lap of the session.
Right, I'm actually going to pit this lap.
Okay, punch it.
Right, let's get back out there then. I may retire the car soon, but I do see that there are some positions to gain. Unfortunately, one of them is ball carry. So I want to just see what other positions that I can gain, because they will still help towards the championship. Oh, hello. I almost lost it on the Degner 1 then. Gonna let Carlos through. But remember, part of the reason why I managed to get ahead of Carlos is because I didn't need to fill up with as much fuel as him. I wonder if letting Carlos through again was a mistake. Because I am lapping faster now since putting on a new set of tyres. As a matter of fact, Carlos is now
Flat for
lapping
you.
just as quick. We catch up to Steve quite a bit. Has he had an issue of some kind? Oh, Steve. He finally lost that front end. At least he's kept it together though. I think he's only going to lose one spot. So the next car up the road is actually about 2 laps ahead of me. So I probably won't go for too much longer. I just want to make sure that at least fulfill the requirement, which is 75% race distance. And then we'll probably just retire there. I do notice there's another car that is like behind me on the road. There's an additional 2 laps behind me. He's in the same class, but just that alone isn't going to decide a title fight, you know, massively. And when my other title rivals have decided not to even continue the race, I'm at least going to get some points in this, really. Like, I know Sanderson retired after the first lap.
Been everywhere, Daniel.
But I'm not sure if just Stowe is in a convincing spot. Well, there's nothing really I can do about that. Oh, yeah, there you go. It's P18. There's not a massive amount up the field. He's doing a respectable race, though. So yeah, I'll probably do 2 more laps and then I'll pit and retire. Yeah, obviously apologies that the race hasn't exactly gone to plan, but you know, considering how we've had a lot of luck come towards us this season so far, it was bound to run out. So at the end of the day, I can't really complain too much, really, to be honest. Obviously in the next round's at Suzuka. It should be an interesting one. We've had some very good fortune at Sebring before, so hopefully that will be the case again.
Car right. Clear.
Okay, so we're going to box this lap and retire from there. Chances of me getting any further positions now are going to be very slim. And look, my standings are looking like I am gaining positions, but that's not the case. That's because I'm there on the other side of the track. Oh, that's an off track, okay. Right. Okay. Let's just pull up. So yeah, so that's where we're going to end it. Like, obviously a lot of it was just being made as setting laps, really, to be honest, for the most part. But when you have an incident on the first lap, that is what's going to happen at times, unfortunately. So, you know, it was great having you all around, nevertheless. We will be attempting to fight back
We're done. Get going.
just as hard for the next round, which is at Sebring. So, obviously, VRS this week isn't at Sebring, is at Halton Park, but because there's not enough pit stalls to be able to cover us all, there's a regulation for this series where we do the IMSA race this for this coming week instead. So next week we're at Sebring, which obviously gives us a little bit of early preparation for the 12 hours of Sebring, which isn't for another month, obviously. So, but yeah. So obviously, it's not the best outcome, but you know, considering the fact that this is our first bad result that we've had all season long, you know, I'm not going to complain about it. We've had a lot of luck go our way this season so far. So, like I said earlier on, it was going to happen that something was going to happen where luck wasn't going to go our way, and that is just motorsport at its finest, basically. You know, there's nothing more you can do about it. You know, it was just one of those incidents where one person was probably going a little bit slower than somebody else realised. They've brake checked, and in that brake check, what's happened is that it's caused a domino effect. Me being directly behind another driver while already going a little bit slow because it's the first lap, it's going to cause an accident as bad as what it was. So but there's going to be two incidents that obviously are going to be looked at. I will make a report of my own with the second incident, just to cover my own back, because I do feel that there was absolutely nothing else I could have done. I had one driver to my right, of which both of our cars were damaged. So all I'm looking to do is just try and get back to pit lane, because I don't know how severe my damage was, but I felt like it wasn't going to be anything major. And I'm just trying to give another competitor room who was also damaged. And unfortunately, another car, maybe he didn't realise we were going 3 wide. So he was thinking, I'm going to be right up against the curb, which obviously I know there's another car to my right, so I'm not going to be. So it might have been one of those incidents that he didn't get a call for 3 wide, and those incidents are just going to happen at the end of the day, unfortunately. So, but it does look like, I will be honest, that a number of our other drivers are all doing quite well. Leah's doing very well. Renee is doing extremely well as well. Looks like that Renee might actually get the silver class win, possibly. Let me have a look and see what the standards are like at the moment. Hey there, Marble, how you doing, bud? Yeah, you can see that even with all the like, this was obviously the first lap. So, and obviously, like, my car is looking perfectly okay now, but you know, we've been driving around for an hour like this, we have, and so, but we're in a position now where we've done the required allocation, so there's nothing too much more, honestly, that we can actually do. So this is where we leave it, really, for this week's RPM GT3 Championship. Not the way that I wanted it to go, obviously, but you know, like I said earlier on, you know, with all the luck that we have been going for us, it was bound to happen that we was going to have something be unlucky for us. So yeah, we just decided to come in and call it a day. Basically, we've been driving around for a bit over an hour. We have pretty much, and basically we've been a few laps down the whole entire race. Basically after our first lap incident that we got caught up in. So, but it happens. So, we will be looking to fight back, obviously, at Sebring next week. A track that I do have actually got some very good league races at before. So, hopefully, that will be the case. But we'll just have to wait and see. Our main championship rival also retired on the first lap. But the difference is because I've actually continued up to this point, I should still get some points. But it won't be a great result. It won't look like a great result at the end of the day. But at least I will still get some points. Unlike Benjamin, who unfortunately, obviously, got caught up with us during the second incident, of which neither of us had any real control over. Basically, so yeah, it just happens. So I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you ever so much for those that have come on into the stream. In case you have not realised, this is a special promotion stream that we're doing at the moment with Trak Racer. So if you are interested in any equipment, like a sim rig, or if you're looking for a whole complete bundle, which does include the rig, the wheel, pedals, even a monitor, even a gaming PC that comes with it, please do have a look at the link by putting into the chat !TR. That will send you to a special link of which you'll have a look. You'll be able to have a look at all their products, and anything that you do buy by going to that link, I do get a little bit of all the payments that go through via that as well. So if you are in the market looking for something extra, or even just looking for a pair of gloves, maybe, you know, they do sell racing gloves as well. So if you're in the market for anything like that, then please do go and have a look at that. Be ever so grateful. But otherwise, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you ever so much for everybody joining into the stream. It has meant a lot. If you have enjoyed the stream, do not forget to give a like on the stream. And also subscribe to the channel as well. If you do want to see further content. I am in a moment in a little bit of a stage where I'm just taking a bit of a break from creating content weekly. But I am looking to start creating content again. Possibly within the next month at the latest. Possibly. It might come in a little bit earlier, depending on how things are going with how I'm doing mentally, and obviously looking for a job and trying to get my fitness back to where I want it. But yeah, thank you ever so much for everybody joining in. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your evening, guys, and thank you ever so much for popping in as well, Marble. But yeah, thank you ever so much, everybody, for joining in. I hope you all have a great rest of your evening and a great rest of your week. I'll see you guys next time. Good night, everybody.